This thing is a ripper. It's no longer sort of a cross-country bike. Hey, I'm Matt with Jenson USA, and we are here in Santa Cruz. There's a few reasons you go to Santa Cruz. One, for the surf, more importantly for the loamy trails. But today we got a chance to ride the new 4th version of the Ibis Ripley. And we weren't going to pass on that. And I look back at when the first Ripley came out in 2010, and it was a bike, we threw out terms like one bike quiver killer, just because it was so versatile, had such a wide envelope of where it was great. And times have changed. So when that bike was super versatile whenever it first came out, now you look at that bike and you kind of pigeonhole as a cross-country bike. Just geometry numbers have changed and the design parameters have changed. And so this bike has changed with it. And it really, I look at this, they took a lot of what they learned with the Ripmo project and have scaled it down to make a bike that'll do a lot of different things in that 120 millimeter category. So let's talk about why that is. They're still using DW Link suspension, and DW Link is amazing because it's such an efficient kinematic that you can just set the sag at 30 or 35% and just really rely on the mechanical platform. So you don't have to add too much damping. You can use a tune that's going to keep the suspension really supple and still have a bike that has a lot of pop that pedals really well. So we talked about this bike being versatile. There's a couple of other ways that you can skin this cat. One way is to take this from 130 down to a 120. If you're wanting to run like a 120 step cast fork and really lighten it up, you can go that direction. Or if you really want to give this bike a little bit more capable toward the Ripmo end of the scale, you can put a 140 fork on here and give it just that little bit more capability. That's one of the reasons why they've designed this new bike with a bottom bracket that's 5 millimeters higher, so that you have the ability to do that without having to worry about rock strikes. And just the new positioning, the new modern geometry that they're using, it works really well going up and down. So part of that is the 76-degree C-tube angle. So that keeps you high in the suspension travel. It keeps you in a really efficient pedaling position. You don't feel like the front end is trying to lift or walk around on you on climbs, and it's gonna do as well as you can. So it's never gonna hold you back on the climbs. Plus it's a really lightweight bike. They've managed to make this bike as stiff as the Ripmo, but still bring some weight out of it. So they're expecting that a frame without the shock is gonna come in about 5 pounds, and you can easily build a bike that's gonna get you under 26 pounds. Another part of that equation is at the front end of the bike. So we're going longer and lower and slacker and all that. We're using a 66.5-degree head tube angle. So all of a sudden you've got this bike that's 120 in the back, 130 in the front, but it's ready to charge. We rode some really gnarly, sketchy stuff today here in Santa Cruz, and trails that I've ridden on a Ripmo, and I was going at it with the same level of confidence on this bike. So it feels really capable. While you're doing this, you're shifting your weight forward with that steeper C-tube angle. There's some other important components. First of all is lengthening the front center of the bike. So we're going to 475 millimeters of reach on a large. So still keeping the same basic cockpit length, but allowing you to use that shorter stem so everything feels real nice and quick, but you're back off the axle and it feels really confident. The other important thing is we're using a 432 millimeter chainstay length. So we're tucking the rear wheel, and it's keeping that agile feel that you might otherwise lose by lengthening the front center of the bike. So overall, it keeps it feeling balanced and composed and makes it do a lot of things really well. One of the things that I really liked was how great that 120 millimeters of travel felt. I think on the old Ripley, it was a little more linear. So you might blow through a lot of that travel and you might feel it bottom out. And I don't know that I checked travel meter on the shock, and I saw where I used all the travel today, but I never really felt it bottom out. It does have a lot more progressive spring rate to the new suspension design. And so it just is working for you, but you never really have that harsh bottom out feel, and you really get the feel that there's a quality of the travel. This thing is a ripper. It's no longer sort of a cross-country bike. It's got this really capable geometry, but at the same time, it's got a lightweight chassis, and it's something that you can use all the time. There are going to be folks out there who say, I love the Ripmo, it's cool, but it's maybe a little too much bike for the trail that I ride. And if you fall into that category, you really need to check out a Ripley. This thing is rad. So if you have any more questions, reach out to one of our gear advisors. All the bikes that we ship at Jenson are going to come in a box where they're ready to go in 3 minutes or less. So let's get you out on a Ripley soon. Thanks, and keep pedaling.